Speed bunny bold like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king, over the sea to Skye.
Hey guys! Okay, so I thought I would do another sit-down video for you guys and kind of answer some questions that you guys have had. I put them all in my phone, so hopefully I will get them right. I kind of just went through and filtered through some of the most popular I filtered through some of the most popular questions. If you guys have any additional questions at the end of this video that I didn't answer, just comment below, ask, and I will do another follow-up video to this video. So first question is, do all of your children play together? I think you mean like in terms of, do the girls play with the boys? Do the boys play with the girls? Do they interact with each other? Narkees and Zoe and Piper all play together great. all three of them play together great. And all of my children play with Aiden. Aiden is just recently starting to actually interact and play with his siblings as well. He loves to be tickled, and he'll kind of chase them around and kind of feel around where they're at. So that's actually a new development that he has started doing. So we're super excited that Aiden is actually engaging in some type of play with his siblings. But the other three play together all the time. All the time. Next question, was adopting your boys a difficult process? I could go on about this probably for hours if you guys would let me. In fact, if you guys want, I'll do a totally separate adoption video, but yes, in short, yes, it was a long, difficult, very hard process, but it was worth it. And I don't know necessarily that difficult is the right word. I think long is the right word, and very labor intensive. Especially for us, we did not go through an agency when we were adopting. We did it all by ourselves, meaning we did all the legwork, we did all the paperwork. When I say we, I mean I, because my husband didn't do it, because he was working all the time, so I did it. But yeah, I did all the paperwork and everything, and then we had a facilitation team once we got in country that really helped us a ton. They got us places to stay, they told us where to eat, they told us where not to go, they told us what to say, what not to say, all that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a really difficult process. It was very long and strenuous, but you know what, I would do it all again. It's worth it, absolutely worth it. Let's see, why special needs adoption? If any of you guys watch any of my daily vlogs, you know that initially we didn't plan on doing special needs adoption at all. In fact, we wanted to do a domestic closed adoption. We wanted a healthy baby, and that was it. We just wanted a newborn and wanted to expand our family in that way. But as time went on, we really felt God calling us to adopt special needs children, and I found Reese's Rainbow, and I started looking through all of those children, and I started praying for them all, and then that's when the Lord really entered my heart. And y'all, my cat will not go away. He won't go away. He just wants to be with me. He'll just want to be with me. But God at that point really started to enter my heart and really convict me to do special needs adoption. My husband was not on board with this at all. And in fact, before I said yes, I myself said no 1,000 times before I said yes. I thought financially we couldn't do it. I thought emotionally we couldn't do it. I just thought there is no way I could ever be a special needs mom. There's no way. I don't want that life for myself. I don't want that life for my children. Great for those who want to do that, but it's not for me. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Very happy to admit that I was wrong. Ooh. He's knocking over my camera now. Go somewhere else, bro. But now I'm losing my train of thought again, you guys. But I guess that's just kind of how God works in your heart when he's calling you to do something. He can call you 1,000 times. He can knock on that door 1,000 times, and you can shut it in his face. And I definitely did that. I did not want anything to do with special needs adoption. But you know what, God kept pressing and he kept convicting my heart, and eventually I said yes. And oh my goodness, the bounty that overflowed when we said yes to the Lord's will, it was amazing. There's a huge misconception that you have to be wealthy in order to adopt. My husband and I, we're not rich. We're not wealthy. We are middle class, normal people. I mean, we do not make a ton of money. But when God calls you to adopt, and if it's his will, then it's his bill. And that's what we told ourselves the entire adoption process. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my washing machine. I just realized it's probably really loud. But that's what we told ourselves the whole adoption process. And sure enough, $30,000, you guys. We raised $30,000 through the love of Christ and the generosity of others. We raised $30,000 to bring home our 2 little boys. So it is possible. It is possible to adopt if you do not have a substantial bank account, because goodness knows we do not. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling with that question a little bit. I kind of took it and ran with it. But really, I could do a totally separate video on why special needs adoption. Basically, in short, because God called us to special needs. Let's see. I heard you mention... Hold on. I lost it. Hold on, y'all. I heard you mention miscarriages in another video. If you are willing, would you be able to talk more about that? Yes, I have experienced miscarriages before. My first miscarriage was about 6 months after my husband and I got married. But that one to me wasn't so devastating because I didn't realize that I was pregnant until after I had already miscarried the baby. I went to the doctor for an unusually heavy cycle, and I was told at that point that I was actually having a miscarriage. However, my second miscarriage was about a month before Piper, our 3-year-old, turned 1. So about a month before she turned 1, we found out we were pregnant, and we were scared and terrified and excited, and you know, everything was going really well, and we were getting this close. Like, I had the announcement planned out, like we were about to announce the pregnancy, and then at 12 weeks we miscarried. So yeah, that was really hard. That miscarriage was very, very devastating, probably more so for me, because I knew for so long that I was pregnant, and I had a chance to get really excited about it, and you know that there was baby growing inside of me, and it was very heartbreaking when we did miscarry that baby. However, at the time I didn't understand God's plan in that, and I think I will always, in a sense, miss that child. I'll miss both of them, you know, because there were lives that I never got to know. But at the same time, that miscarriage is what led us to explore the world of adoption. And had I not miscarried that baby, we never would have adopted our boys. We wouldn't have even considered adoption, honestly. Like, we always wanted to adopt, but it was a way in the future kind of thing. But had we not miscarried, we wouldn't have ever been led to adoption. So I see God's plan in it, and I see his plan coming full circle now. But yes, it was very, very difficult. I don't even like to talk about it, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I seem a little emotionless about it, but it's a very difficult thing for me to revisit. Let's see. I just did that one. This is kind of an off-the-wall question. Do you have any strange or unusual fears? Why, yes, actually, I do have some strange and unusual fears. I have 2, actually, kind of 1. I don't like bugs. Now, normal bugs, they don't bother me. There's only 2 kinds of insects that petrify me, and that is cave crickets and cockroaches. No, especially the flying kind. I can handle the little like tiny cockroaches, those are fine, but the big ones that fly in your face, oh my goodness, you guys, seriously, panic attack if I see one of those. And with cave crickets, I don't know if y'all have seen a cave cricket, they look like monsters. They're so terrifying. As a child, we lived in a really old house, and we had kind of it was like a walkout basement, and when I was little, that walkout basement always had cave crickets in it. Always, always, always. And I remember as a 3-year-old, those stupid things could jump as high as my head, and they just terrified me. And ever since, I can't handle cave crickets. Luckily, I have not seen a cave cricket in years and years and years. Thank goodness. But if I ever do, you will hear me screaming all the way down the block. the other night there was a huge cockroach in our bedroom, and you guys should have seen me. I wanted to pull out the camera and vlog it, but I didn't because I was too scared. I was up on the bed with a shoe, screaming my head off for my husband to come and save me, and he went and got in the shower and left me in the room with the cockroach. No, it was awful. It was terrible. I don't like bugs. Now, like ladybugs, any other kind of bug doesn't bother me. Wasps, bees, I don't care. They don't bother me at all. I'm not like squeamish with creepy crawly things. It's just those two specific insects that do me in. Let's see. Can you talk a little bit about Aiden's twin brother? I am very curious. So yes, okay, I haven't mentioned this in detail or anything, but Aiden does have a twin brother. And a lot of y'all are asking, well, why didn't we adopt his twin brother? Or where is his twin brother? Why aren't you going back to Ukraine to get his twin brother? It's a very strange and unique type of situation. When we adopted Aiden, we had no clue that he had a twin. No clue at all. And we got back home, and I became really good friends with this other mom who was in the process of adopting a little boy who was also blind and nonverbal and autistic, and we just kind of became friends because our sons looked so much alike and they had the same diagnosis. And in fact, for the longest time, we thought that Andrew, Aiden's twin, was Aiden, because of the photo listings, like they looked so much alike. So after they got home, we started talking some more and sharing the records, you know, because when you adopt, the Ukrainian government released all of their medical records and history and all that kind of thing. And we started talking about them, and we realized that a lot of things strangely lined up. That they had the same birthday. They were like one region apart, meaning they were only like an hour and a half apart in Ukraine. And there were a lot of other like weird little hints that we were like, maybe they're twins and they were just separated when they were born. So we found out, now this is all speculation, this is speculation from what we envision probably happened. We think that the birth mother had twins, saw that Aiden was blind, and thought that she could not parent a special needs child. Therefore, she gave Aiden up and sent him to the orphanage that she gave birth in the region that she gave birth into. And she decided to try to parent Aiden's brother. Well, later she realized that Andrew too was also blind, and at that point she wasn't doing well herself, and other situations were occurring. I don't want to get into great detail because it's not just my business, it's his twin brother's parents' business as well, and I don't want to invade their privacy in any way. But basically, he was surrendered at 6 months. So Andrew lived with his parents until 6 months, and then he was surrendered to another orphanage in a different region. And we think that they just never linked the two. They just didn't put it in their records. We don't really know, honestly, but curiosity got the best of us, so we contacted someone at this big university and we talked to them, and we got hair follicles and saliva and fingernail clippings and all this other kind of stuff to do a DNA test. And we sent the DNA test off, and it came back as 99.9% probability that they are brothers. So that was amazing. And obviously, if they have the same birthday, then they're twins. So I will insert a picture of Aiden and his twin brother right here. And as you can see, they look so much alike. It is ridiculous. Like, it's really, really ridiculous how much alike they look. But I am in contact with them. So his brother has been adopted, and they live across the United States. I'm not going to say exactly where they live, but they live about 8 hours away from us where we are. But we do talk to them, and at some point in the future, I do believe we will let our boys meet. But there's no rush right now. Let's see. And then this is the last question that I'm going to answer today, and it is, how did the girls handle the adoption? Piper handled it really well. She was only 2 when we brought them home, and to her it was just kind of just like, okay, I have 2 brothers. Zoe took it a little bit harder. Oh, I'm gonna have to reposition myself. Zoe took it a little bit harder. She was 5 at the time that we adopted, and it was very difficult for her. It was very, very hard. We were gone for 8, almost 9 weeks. We had to leave our girls here. And I think that was really the most difficult part for her, is being away from us. And then when we came home, the boys were just all consuming. And it was so hard to come back and and you know, spread yourself amongst all 4 of my kids. Like, it was just very, very difficult. And then there were doctors and medical issues and behavioral issues, and it was just a whirlwind. And I think Zoe got very, very overwhelmed, and I saw that in her, and I saw her kind of, you know, closing into herself and kind of pulling back a little bit. And that's why initially we had decided to homeschool her, so that she could have time at home with me and I could kind of reconnect with her. And that was great. That was a great thing that we did at the time. But she's doing a lot better now. She's back in public school, and I pray one day we can homeschool again. It's just, it wasn't possible at this point in our lives, unfortunately, like I wish it were. But yeah, they're both doing great now. I think complete acceptance has come over. The honeymoon phase is over. They are their brothers, and all bets are off. They fight and they play and they laugh and argue, and you know, it's a very typical sibling relationship at this point. But yes, they are doing very well. But initially, no, they did not handle it very well, and that was a very difficult challenge coming into being a newly adopted family. It was hard. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I have a child in here who is hungry and wants his lunch, and I have another one who wants a drink. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope you guys are all doing awesome. Thank you all so much for subscribing. If you have any additional questions, just list them below. I'll do a follow-up video if I have more questions that maybe I did not cover in this video. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.